Aloha, happy hump day. It's Wednesday. Yes, we are almost through. Well, we are halfway through the week. Okay, it's officially done with work for me too. So we are almost there. I know we got Seal in the chat. Seal popped in and said hi real quick, and we'll see who else we go. I know there's a lot going on out there in YouTube land right now. But found this. I've been kind of following this story for the last 2 days, I'd say. And I mentioned it earlier to Sleuth and thought it'd be a good one for us to discuss. So let me go ahead and first bring up Sleuth before we start. Get the notifications out to everyone. Hello, Sleuth. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you? Hi,
I am good.
Lokomai.
Hello, hello, hello. And yeah, I've been looking. I know we got to get good old notifications have to get out. No one ever knows which channel we're on Wednesdays. So, hey, Danette's here too. Hey, Danette, how you doing, my dear? And also, yeah, no, I've been looking at this case for the last. Oh, we'll say hi to people as they could pop on in. But about 2 days ago is when I first started seeing this case popping up, and initially, yeah, first thing my mind pops into is, "Oh my gosh, is there a serial killer out there?" That's the first
Mhm.
thing. So I was like, "Okay, yeah, we." When you and I were trying to figure out what do we cover today, there's a lot of things going on. There was the case of a mom and her missing children, but it looks like those kids were found, so that was good. Thank you, Chris, for sending me that info. And Sleuth was able to find out that they had been found. And then you had another case you were looking at that looked like that person was found also.
Yes.
So, yeah,
It's been one good
goodness.
news thing after another, honestly, in the missing world right
It
now.
has
So,
been. It has been totally. I mean, even Monday, the case we were talking about on Monday. Hello, hello, Miss Seal. How you, my dear? Um, yeah, I woke up to you're actually the one who sent me the info, letting me know, hey, by the way, they found them, and from the looks of it, they were found in Nashville, and I haven't heard anything saying that okay, anything other than they're safe. So I was so happy to hear about that because I was really worried about, especially with a baby, when you're talking a pregnant woman,
right.
that scared me, and
Well, and because honestly, we have that other pregnant woman you covered long while back. She's never been found. And I highly doubt she is still pregnant because she was 9 months, I think, at the time, right? Whenever she
yeah,
disappeared.
yeah, she was right on the edge there also. "Hey, Annie, how you doing, Annie? Miss you, love you, my dear." And, um, yeah, she was pretty far along. I think, yeah, it was like 8 and a half out, just like in this case. It was right there at the time of giving birth, and, I mean, last night, in fact, I sent someone this. I was watching a video of a woman who it was the case down in Texas a few years ago where
Mhm.
the woman kind of talked with a pregnant woman for a while. And then when she was getting close to due date, she went down there and killed the mom and tried to take the baby and claim it as hers. And those are that's I hate to say, but that's where my head kind of goes when I hear about these cases. And like in that case, the baby didn't survive. And people don't get that part of it that usually in those cases we lose both of them. That's really scary. And so I was very happy to hear that in this case that was going. And then the case Chris was talking about, mom and her children were missing, but I guess they found the children and mom. They're just got to get everyone back together. So that's great. So, but let me ask Sleuth, you and everyone in chat, how many of you guys have heard about these two deaths out of LA? It's two women.
Honestly,
Yeah, go for it.
since you sent it to me, that's all the sooner I heard about it, and then, of course, I started looking into it a little bit, and, just kind of glancing at the different information so that I could be familiar enough to talk and listen to you explain stuff, really, you know what I mean?
Right, right. You didn't like my little handwritten notes that aren't in your wonderful little. By the way, guys, Sleuth has this amazing book. I won it. I was so happy when I won it. I'm holding on to mine for Ariel's trial date, But I mean, yeah, it's really cute for those of you who haven't seen it yet. It's really cute inside. So I've been holding on. I won't show you guys the handwritten note I have. But that's and I love
My
that.
sloppy
Yeah.
handwriting.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. But yeah, no, no, I always write notes down. And so I've been holding on to that until Ariel's trial because I do want to go. So yeah,
Someday
so you just
someday
heard about
Ariel will go to trial.
oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she'll have been probably a high school graduate by the time they finally don't even get me started on that. But yeah. So okay, Seal read a little bit about this case then last night. Yeah, that yesterday is when I really started. The night before I first heard about it. But what's scary is this is one of those cases. Okay, those of you who now know about this case. Oh yeah, blind. Yeah, no problem. Let me pull this up for you. There you go. If you need to contact me, blind, the local my life at gmail.com. Okay, just all out, no spaces. I'll leave that up for a few minutes for you. Actually, I can do this too. Thank you, Sleuth. Sleuth is thinking in the way that I should have been thinking. I could just use Battissimo, make Battissimo do its work. Um, so yeah, no, I most cases like this, wouldn't you think you have two women who go who are killed within less than a mile of each other. They're found within 2 days of each other. They're in the same career field, same age range. You would think you'd be hearing about it more often. Okay, I don't know, Sleuth. Is that your thought? Would you hear more about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's kinda shocking to me that it's not more places for sure. I do know
Mm,
that, Beige Field is starting to cover it with Brian and News Daddy.
yeah,
And, they're talking about it, but it's just odd because we know that that area, California, of course, is where we're talking about, right? And so we know that they have had, like, different types of serial killers and things like that in the past, and so it's not unheard of that the connections between these 2 cases, could be very real, and of
right.
course, we know that police are never going to admit to us, "Hey, yeah, actually, there's a serial
They're
killer
not.
out there, guys," or we think that the women were targeted for similar reasons or anything
Right.
like that because they don't wanna scare the public.
Oh,
They don't have to tell us everything,
right. And
unfortunately.
that I can see. And we'll actually pull, I do want to pull up Banfield up so that we can kind of look at it and all. Because the reporting there, we have Enton in there, Brian Enton and all, and it was really well done on it. I have another article we can read too. But yeah, I cannot believe because if I was a model right now, okay, in LA specifically, I'd want to know all this stuff is going on because I'd want to be a little bit more vigilant, to put it that way. So yeah, so what we'll do is we're going to kind of go through the this was actually over on News Nation 21 hours ago. Had to double check that. So let me see that we're at a good volume. Yeah, we should be good. So we'll kind of stop and go and share whatever we can on this. So here we go.
So there's something really kind of weird and sinister happening in LA right now in these fancy high rise apartments, just like a couple miles away from each other. Two really beautiful models found dead. And it is weird how similar they are, the stories. I want to bring in senior national correspondent Brian Enton, who's been following this story. It doesn't, I mean, it's really a creepy, creepy story, especially how police are treating one of the models as opposed to the case of the other model. Can you bring me up to speed on it?
Yeah, actually, these are two beautiful models in their early 30s. The entire community, modeling community in LA right now, is totally freaked out over what is going on since these two very mysterious and disturbing deaths. And they were
Okay, I'm gonna stop there because I do want they take this down and I wanted everyone to see both of them beforehand. So we are talking about two women who are both one was 32 and the other was going to be 32 fairly soon. 31 right now, but really right on the edge. Okay, and yeah, they're both not only models, but they were popular models, which is one of the reasons why people are worried. Okay,
And they look so similar, like, look at their facial features are very similar. I mean, that could have
yeah,
been the same girl almost in different 2 different lightings and posings, you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, totally, totally. And what's to say that we don't have someone who is looking, because they are popular models. They're not just like
Mhm.
someone who does a job here or there. They've got a fairly, among models you can have followings, and both of them have a following. In addition, the second one um to be found, okay, dead, was Melissa Mooney. Melissa, in addition to being a model, was a real estate agent, I've discovered. She is the only case that is being seen officially as foul play or a murder right now. That's part of the problem. We're going to kind of get into this here because a lot of people are saying, the first case, which was Nikki Coates, her family is like, this is foul play. Unfortunately, law enforcement has not said that, okay, officially at this point. So,
Actual only zero point 0.8 miles apart from each other, not even a mile, Ashley. Both of them lived in these luxurious apartment buildings in LA. 31-year-old Melissa Mooney, that one has been ruled a homicide. And then there's 32-year-old Nicole Coates. Coates was found dead first. You see the beautiful apartment building here. 2 days later is when they found Mooney. Again, just 0.8 miles apart. Coates found, according to her family, in a bloody scene in a quote unrecognizable state. Very strange circumstances. Her family says there was a leg, one of her legs was up in the air, sort of in a kicking position. They say it doesn't make any sense how much blood there was, why they're not ruling it a homicide at this point. And that 2 days earlier, she had been on a date and then she suddenly stopped responding to.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Now,
And
how is
that's
that not huge red flags, first of all?
bingo, bingo. Yeah, the last she was, I'm going back to my notes to try to find out things with it. But the last she was seen on the 8th, and she had told a friend that she was going on a date. After that, family kept trying to contact her, and they don't go into this part too much on this article. Hey, here she goes. Hello, hello, and hello, Hope. I didn't say hi to you either. Um, Family and friends kept trying to contact her and stuff like that, trying to get information. And after they didn't hear from her for a while, her aunt and her father, if I'm getting this correct, went to go check on her. And when they went into the house, they ended up in her bedroom. And if I'm gathering what I can pull together correctly, they went there and they noticed that the covers were pulled up on top of, okay, her. So they pulled back the covers. And that's when they noticed the bed was full of blood. Okay. She was, quote, unrecognizable. Okay, to the point where one family member has said that they actually identified her by her tattoos. Um, the other was, which is really weird to me, is that her leg was kind of up in the air, like she had been trying to kick. So I don't know if her leg, she was trying to kick upwards.
Well, the
And
question is, like, how did it stay that way all that time? Was she posed? 'Cause and I this is gonna be
no,
graphic and a little bit gross, but postmortem, your body does get stiffer, and
yes,
so I'm wondering, could she have even been posed postmortemly? Like, is that something that we know yet?
we don't. This is the case that is not being seen as a homicide.
That's
That's what's
crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, they've said they have to go to the coroner, and I thought I heard something. The coroner says they need to do more investigation. But yeah, I was trying to figure that too. Could, if you're laying in bed on your back and you go to push your leg up, could her leg have gotten caught on her other leg? And then when rigor mortis, I'm sorry, it's graphic, I know, sets in, that's it was being held up by the other leg. But it's, yeah, like they said, not a normal position to be in.
This family
Um,
has gotta be freaking devastated, especially with it not even being I mean, how are they even ruling it? If it's not a homicide, what, like, accidental death? Is it just,
I don't think they have ruled it yet.
Anything, just nothing. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
nothing. Yeah, they're just keeping it that. I do know they had a GoFundMe to try, because part of the problem also, I'll be honest, guys, if you're looking from a financial level, if there's insurance and stuff, you know what? They need to bury their loved one. And if you're not getting insurance to help cover, and also they actually did do to try to help cover that. Plus, I'll be honest, I suspect family's going to want to do some level investigation of their own, especially if they don't. I mean, it sounds weird. What are the chances of someone, yes, with all that blood? I mean, I don't know what the cause of death was. We haven't heard anything on cause of death for either case, actually, that I've been able to find at least.
Okay.
And that does get me, because are they related? Are they not related as to cause of death? But when you hear, yeah, that there was blood everywhere, as they said, she was in the kicking position, she was unrecognizable to her own father. That it rings to me foul play. But of course, we're not seeing all the ins and outs either. Okay, it's just, I don't know. I've tried to figure out other possibilities. I don't know. So, um, but one thing, actually, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to bring up real quickly the map so you guys can see the other thing here. I pulled up Google Earth to kind of get an idea how close this was. So we are talking LA. Okay. Well, LA, switch it around. Okay. And you can see it in the right direction. We are, they're saying less than 8. Oh, shoot, I lost track. There it is. They're saying less than a mile. Okay,
Oh
here
my
in,
god, those are so close.
yeah,
Like, literally, this is the same neighborhood.
it does not make sense. I mean, let me do this. Now, these aren't the actual locations, these are the blocks, but the blocks are coming in at 0.69 miles.
I w I was just wondering the same thing CL said. Do they work together? I wonder if they did the same agency, the same modeling jobs, the same,
That's
photographer even.
photographer,
Yeah,
big time point there. And I haven't heard model apartments, and these were two separate. I do want to clarify, Scooby. By the way, welcome, Scooby. These were their own apartments from the sound of it. One of the girls, the one who does have the homicide, that they're saying it is foul play, was also a real estate agent. Interestingly, they're calling these luxury apartments. So these were really successful models. Okay, they weren't like, but yeah, you're right. A lot of times they jam them all together. Hey, Jet's mom, how you doing, my dear? Um, hey, Chris. Hey, by the way, thanks for the stuff you sent me this morning. Yeah, it could be a delivery type person who's going to these places. I did hear someone said Melissa Mooney, the second person. Um, that apartment complex has been, the people who live in the complex have been saying they've been a little bit more concerned lately because of things happening, but they don't describe what those things are. So I don't know if it's people hanging out more or what, but it's definitely something there. So anyhow, I did want to show you guys this because this was huge to me. I mean, that close to each other, that
that's
literally
close,
is,
close.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's what, a 5-minute walk
I mean,
max.
I don't know. And then the fact that it's just so similar. I just
Exactly.
I
It's
don't know. I get
some,
Timothy Haslett vibes from this, like, they have never called him a serial killer, and they have never come out and said that he had other victims, but they also, of course, have had another victim now, you know what I mean?
mhm,
Like, so it's like, okay, you can say what you're not gonna say all the time, but doesn't make it true.
but you got it. Let's see, Chris, could it be a copycat? Possibly. I think these things happen so closely that I've even wondered, because they weren't found like the next day type thing. Okay, in the case of The first case, Nicole or Nikki, she was last seen on the 8th. She was found on the 10th. So that's pretty close time wise. As for Melissa Mooney, she was found on the 12th around 3:54. But in her case, family actually were doing a welfare check. Well, police did the welfare check because she was not returning any text messages, any phone calls. Her text messages went from blue, the iPhone blue messages, to green. So definitely some stuff right there. Let me see right here. Ringo, hey Ringo. What's a fan apartment? Good question. Good question. Did someone type in fan or did I say something wrong? I may have, knowing me. Nicole is 32. So yes, Nicole is 32. Melissa is 31, almost 32. And yeah, and that's the thing. They're old for models. And but they're established models. They've been doing work. It'd be very interesting, by the way. Hi, Tam Tam. And it'll be interesting to find out whether or not they have worked together. But see, that's the thing, Sleuth. This is the thing that gets me is by this time, you're talking September 10th and 12th. Today is September 20th. By now, usually internet sleuthdom is already working through these types
Right.
of questions. And we have no answers right now. There's no one.
Have
Yeah,
you checked
everyone.
Reddit? I I didn't
I
go
did.
there actually. Let me
I
go
should
there.
have checked Reddit. Yeah. I'm going to continue this playing while you check that one
That's
out.
fine. Yeah, sorry.
Text messages. So a lot of concern here. Nicole Coates' mom spoke to our affiliate in LA. I want you to hear what she had to say. She's very worried.
My daughter is gone. It is not fair. I want everybody to find out who did this to her.
So right now, police are only calling these active investigations. They're only calling the one, Melissa Mooney, a homicide at this point. The families really think this could be a serial killer, Ashley. They've been saying that for the last couple of days. They think these two cases are connected again because just 2 days apart, both popular models, both very popular on social media. But police were clear today at a press conference that right now they are treating both cases totally separately.
I feel like
Yeah, police are actually stating they've come straight out and said these are unconnected. They're not coming out and saying the one is foul play at all. They're still looking at it though. Like I said, I mean, when you literally find a woman, yeah, beautiful women, and when you find one of them under her sheets, blood everywhere, with her leg up, like she's trying to kick. Um,
I'm gonna tell you
those,
that
yeah,
the, um the public in that area, the post that I am seeing, they're all saying about a serial killer being in that area targeting women.
yep, and
And
that's it.
so that's a
Mm,
huge red flag because again, if people are noticing connections and different things like that, there's likely a connection that we're not hearing about. You know what I mean?
right, right. And like you said, Timothy Haslett, that's what this is
Right.
screaming right now to me. You've got a community that is screaming out, there's something here, there's something here. And I don't know, maybe they aren't saying this other one is foul play because they're worried. Maybe their investigation is leading in a way where they don't want to let people know that they're on the trail of something. I don't know. But it's really strange. I mean, I started trying to put a list together of all the similarities between
Right.
these. And it's ridiculous, all the similarities in these cases.
So somebody said, so this is on Reddit, and it does say that these luxury apartments have security cameras everywhere. There will be video of people entering and exiting the hallways, elevators, rooms, main entrances of both of the buildings that they were murdered in. They also have keypad
Yeah.
entry and key fobs to go in and out of the apartment building doors and things like that. So this is like a really,
This
I
is
mean, this
high
is a
risk.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
it's
this
gonna be
is high.
somebody who would be going in and out of these buildings that may or may not raise red flags, you know what I mean?
Delivery person. Sorry,
Delivery
first thing that popped into
person,
my
or like
head.
I said, I really wondered, are they working for the same agency or the same photographer or, some type of connection to where they would be going in and out of these buildings? Because if the landlords typically rent out to people who are models or who do have that type of entertainment background, for example, you know,
Yeah. Yep. It does make a
maintenance
difference. Yeah.
workers, something.
Maintenance workers, yeah, maintenance workers would definitely become, and yes, K-MASH, exactly. That's been one thing that got me immediately, and that's why we don't know exactly how they were found. We know how we're being described that they're found, and when they said they had the covers were over them, I'm like, "Whoa, wait, who would cover themselves?" It didn't make sense to me either. Um, it'll be interesting to see what the police pulled off of that. Hey AJ, how you doing, my dear? And I'm sorry, dogs are barking like crazy right now. And also, they could have the same agency. I have not heard anything. That doesn't mean that there isn't other types of work going on. But I have not heard that in this case. Actually, if anything, what I've heard is, for example, in the case of Melissa, she actually worked as a real estate agent on the side. And so it looks like you've got a lot of those types of things going on where they're successful young women. Okay, they know that they're probably aging out of the modeling time frame. And also they've got the secondary backup jobs and all that. Not that we know of, but that doesn't mean anything right now. We really don't know
Right.
anything.
Yeah,
That's
it looks like honestly there is it's it's just, oh goodness, sorry, I'm trying to read down through this
oh,
real
don't
quick.
worry.
That they found basically for the one, for Mooney, that her cause of death is still under investigation, but they did determine that she was murdered,
Foul
whereas the
play.
other one there's not. So there's something there.
Yeah,
So cause of death could be, hemorrhaging, suffocation, whatever. Could take longer to determine, but it
right.
could just be obvious that there was some type of
Yeah.
homicide that took place, basically.
I wish they would talk if they feel there is something with the family. I do wish law enforcement or someone would talk with Nicole's family because you can see, you can hear just from that message there. This is the hardest thing in the world. Have your child, okay, taken from you early is hard. Okay, no one would ever want that on for their worst enemy. And for something like that to happen and then know that there's the possibility that there's a similarity here, but it's not being spoken of. They are trying to be the voice for their daughter. And that's what they're trying to do. They want to get the truth for their daughter. Her dad
Right,
stated, yeah. Chris, ages. The first one, which is the one that they have not said is homicide or anything, that's Nicole. She is 30, was 32. Melissa Mooney, who is the homicide victim, was 31. And I don't know her birth date, but someone said she was almost 32. So perhaps a birthday coming up very, very soon. Scooby, it's also a bit reminiscent to the two models murdered via overdose, dropped at the hospital. But yes, yes, I had forgotten about that. Yes. So, okay, let's see.
There should be like an APB or something, or a warning sent out to at least models in that area of LA that these two, maybe they will end up being unrelated. But real quickly, I got about 40 seconds left. What's the social media reaction? Because they were big, they had big followers.
They had big followings, and that's one thing that the family keeps bringing up, is that maybe this was somehow connected to social media. Maybe it was someone who knew both of them through social media because they both were so popular on Instagram and on some other apps too. But the parents are really frustrated with the police. I mean, they feel like, especially the fact that Nicole Coates still is just being called a suspicious death. They say it doesn't make
Weird.
any sense,
It's weird.
especially when the face was unrecognizable. So this is definitely one we're going to have to watch really closely, Ashley.
Well, I know you're the guy to do it, Brian Enton. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to News.
So there's that. Deal. What kind of money has it been said they had a lot? We're being told that this is a luxury apartment complex. Now the thing is, how did they pay their bills? Was it something where maybe a modeling agency or something had a bunch of, like people were saying earlier, and maybe it was part of their contracts or something like that? That's possible. I haven't seen anything on that. And
Right.
Elizabeth, by the way, hello, Elizabeth.
No, I wish that we had more information about the apartments themselves. Hi, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Sorry.
And yeah, no, no, no problem. Yeah, no, we're not being told that they knew each other at all at this point. So it's feasible they didn't even know each other. Um, I do have to say though, if you're that age in a field, even LA, yes, there's models are a dime a dozen, I'm sure. But at that age, you would think that they kind of know of each other. So it would be interesting to know something about that. Obsessed fan, yeah. Especially like they're saying, if they're on the internet all the
Did they
time.
follow each other on social media? I'm curious.
Another question. See,
Uh,
this is one of those cases as I started looking at it more yesterday. And I've been too busy the last few days to do anything really. I want to really we need to look further into it because
we
there's
do.
so
This is
many.
definitely a deep dive one for sure. Sorry, I'm
Oh yeah.
still scrolling through Reddit. That's why I'm kind of like,
No, no
off in the
problem. I'm going to
distance
pull
here.
up one other thing for pictures and everything so we can share this. That was the article though. So this is actually from the Daily Mail, guys. Um, but yeah, no, what gets me is the fact that the first case, the case that they're saying had no foul play, well, that they're not saying has foul play in it yet. Okay, even though there was exactly what Chris is saying, a natural posing, it sounded like a lot of blood, things like that. Annie, exactly. Family were saying that she was unrecognizable. Did that mean that there was bleeding or was it just because of blood? But still, I mean, now, guys, this is gruesome, I know, but usually women, when they unalive themselves, don't go the harder ways of like,
Right. It's usually like pills
yeah, pills and
or
all.
something quick.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But in the case, if it was something like that, and we don't know, we don't have the facts on this stuff, but it is possible that depending on what happened, that would make sense. Um, you can't even find their social media.
I'm wondering if
Uh,
they were pulled because I was just doing a quick, like, obviously, very quick search real quick. And
right.
I didn't see it either. But one of the things that I was thinking about too, because if they're starting to look into their social media, which is possible, and I'm not saying that all models do this, so please do not take this the wrong way. And I'm also not victim shaming. But I know that there are times and situations where models will model in public for like magazines and things like that, but they also will utilize things like OnlyFans
Yes.
or they'll do those date nights and stuff like that for Hollywood for rich people, to go with them for, as their date. Not necessarily even a sex thing, but just to be present so that they have a pretty person on their arm. And I'm wondering, like, is it possible that they could have been mistaken for somebody in a different line of work than model, and
That's
that
true.
could have been how they could have both been targeted? And,
Right.
maybe this is bigger than them being just 2 models. Maybe it's just 2 women in general, and are there other women that have been targeted by this person in that area that might have been, prostitutes or something along those
Right.
lines
Right.
that could have also been targeted by somebody? Are there
Right.
other unsolved cases in this vicinity? I mean, because point 0.8 miles, that's a very short distance, and then within 2 days of each other, I don't know. I have a
Yeah,
hard
it's
hard
really, really. I know. Nicole, the other thing that I had heard, her family said she was getting ready to go to Cancun with a bunch of friends. Now, I don't know if that was related to modeling and all,
Right.
or if it was just a
Or if it was
bunch of
just a
gonna go party and have fun.
Mhm.
Well, you hit your 30s, you're not as much party.
Escorts. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, AJ.
Thank you, AJ.
Sorry.
Um, and yeah, it would be very interesting to find out whether or not they have the same agency or things like that. So, but yeah, looking at this, so this was Coates' apartment, so Nikki's apartment complex. And it looks like there's a Whole Foods possibly, and that looks like a Whole Foods to
Yeah,
me
it does.
logo.
Mhm.
And so it's yeah, it's pretty well traveled. It looks gorgeous, the apartment complex.
Hi,
And
Dina.
hey, Dina, welcome, welcome. And so, yes, that I had not mentioned yet. One of them, who is it? Is it Melissa? One of them, her sister is actually a Guineas pop star.
Wow.
And she's been posting things on Facebook. She called her my little big sister, is how she worded it. And it really, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Scooby, yeah. And I'm not sure what floor that they were on, but you're right. I would never, and I've always, when I lived in apartments, I always made sure I lived higher up because I never wanted to live with too much easy access for people.
I mean, that's a good
Um,
point, especially with as much glass as there is, but obviously there was no breaking and entering or
yeah.
anything like that in these cases. So it's somebody who walked in with them willingly,
Yeah.
and
Well, if
that's
you
something we have to
also,
keep in mind. Go
yeah,
ahead.
you
Or
look here, I'm looking at it and I don't even know, sorry, don't think I see any apartments on that bottom floor. It looks like you got to go to the second floor for an apartment, unless it's further down on the other side that we don't see. But yeah, there was about the fundraiser they were trying to do to help with burial costs and stuff. This is some of the other stuff that they had. Yeah, my heart is going. This family, I mean, they need an answer. They need an answer. So, okay, so it was okay. Mooney is the one that had the sister who's the pop star. Um, and on she was the one, yeah, family kept sending out text messages, not getting any answers or anything like that. And they finally called in the welfare check. And when the police showed up, went into her apartment, they found that she had passed away. Again, we don't know of what. We have no idea. All we know is it was enough for them to be able to say yes, homicide. And what did Hope just say? That was a good point. Well, high end apartments will have security cams at entrances and such. Yes. So they may know they are not related because they've seen people. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And they may not be related.
oh, that's
And
true. They could have
yeah,
already had like a suspect description.
yeah.
But then I don't know though, because they think they would have put that out there, that information. I mean,
Mhm.
possibly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so hard. There are coincidences, and then there are real coincidences that just don't make sense. And that's kind of where my feeling is with this one. And especially if I'm sorry, but if I fell in to this grouping of models, okay, and I had the same look and stuff like that, I would probably want to know, right? Like they were saying over on Banfield. I'd like to know, okay, and have they need something like an AP, not APB, but some sort of notification to say, hey, walk around with friends or stuff like that. Unless they
Right.
can specifically connect until they have answers, they're on caution, not the other way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Scooby. And I was just reading about a whole new one that's coming out right now too. I was watching a news story about that, so that was really kind of scary. Some of the new stuff. So, um, yeah, they were talking with Melissa. They just had that. Okay, so Pauline, so the sister has 1.3 million Instagram followers, and talked about Melissa has always. So here we go, right there. I just wanted to pull up Melissa's picture while I read that. Melissa has always been someone who is a peacemaker in her family, someone that's always been the backbone and making sure everyone's getting together, loving on each other. It's just to have a loved one taken so and to have all the questions. That's what gets me right now is these the families. Okay, so this is the other apartment complex. Okay, so definitely I'm not sure what floor she lived in, but this is where I was talking about that neighbors were saying that they'd been raising alarm about weird suspicious activity in the last few weeks. And this is the case where it was actually noted as homicide so far. Um let's see, Scooby here. The worst part is police will do anything to avoid using the word. Yes, because of the public alarm. And that's the thing. Um, security camera, yeah, security footage is going to be key in this whole thing. This one's going to be harder, yeah, for them to get in, work their way up. And plus, how did they choose? This one was definitely the homicide case. So whoever did it, how did they choose her? Okay, again, okay, is it someone who saw her on the internet? Was it someone she was dating? Was it someone she was a real estate agent? We know real estate agents sometimes, okay, they get people who see them and then they track them, but usually not back to their house. They'll do other things.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing
So
is, I mean, even relationship-wise, like, could they have had somebody in common in that aspect? I mean, is this gonna turn out to be like a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend? I feel like their lives probably overlapped way more than what we think they did.
they had to. They had to. And no, they don't have to, but yeah, it's like, and yeah, Scooby, that's one thing that I was going to say. People don't we trust that these companies and these apartment complexes and businesses maintain their security cameras. A lot do not. A lot of times those security cameras, okay, they're recorded over within 24 to 48 hours. So, for example, in the case of Melissa, we don't know exactly when it happened. How long did she stay at the house before that check was done? And so things could have been recorded over for all we know. Yeah, a lot of different possibilities. So, um, remember that serial killer who abducted those women from open house showings? Yes. Yeah. In fact, that's what was kind of in the back of my head. I was like, oh, yeah. And yeah, social media, both of them, it sounds like one thing that they're saying, and I haven't been able to track the social media either. I wonder if they pulled all the social media actually. Um, but did they have followers? Okay, is it one follower? Is it, I don't know. Yeah, there's many possibilities there. So, let's see, residents. So yeah, to give you guys an idea for the taller, okay, more high rise, rents start at $2,019 a month. So I don't
Holy
know. I live
smokes.
in Yeah, I live in Hawaii. It's hard for me to know if that's high or not.
Yeah, I
But
don't know
yeah,
because I live in rural PA, so, that's, like, insane to
exactly.
me. I mean,
Exactly. And
even
California.
downtown Pittsburgh, I feel like, it's about I wouldn't even say 1,200. Well, it depends on okay, so 1 bedroom. No,
Yeah.
like, even downtown Pittsburgh, you're looking at, like, 750 to 900 range, I would say.
Oh wow. I was
So, like,
for
that's
it
high.
way back when I lived on my own, like, oh, maybe 10 years ago at this point, and I would have paid almost 2 grand for a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. That's Hawaii though for you. And that was a decade ago. So
Still
um
saying for LA, that's not high.
that's not high. Okay. So they're calling these luxury apartments. Are they luxury because they're new? Okay, and in a nice area because it does Whole Foods and all that. It does look like it's a little nicer area. That area, the building has resort style pools, sun deck, central courtyard, communal barbecue, tennis courts, dog park. Wow, I want to live there. Would love a dog park to take my pups to. So, yeah, it's really, and What does get me is they have, I don't know if people are using the word gruesome scenes to describe both of them because of the description of Nikki's scene, or if there is more information out there about Melissa's. And that is also because I haven't seen hardly anything about Melissa's situation other than the fact police are saying it is homicide and all. So it's really, really. I'm going to go ahead see. We'll see if I can play this one right now or not. We'll find out. Might have an article advertisement. We'll find out.
Probably a really cool ad.
Ah,
What's it gonna
probably.
be about?
Vivid Seasons.
There, I'll take that down for a few seconds while we do that. So, yeah, a lot of apartments, especially in California now, are catered towards influencers. True that. Yeah, very true. They want people to be able to record videos and stuff like that. Very true. Get the little group homes where everyone lives and stuff like that. Yeah, they're not going to let me skip this one. Usually they'll let you skip it.
Morning to you both. It's been 3 days since 31-year-old Melissa Mooney was found dead inside her downtown LA apartment. LAPD confirms she was murdered. I spoke with her sister this afternoon. She says Melissa was kind, loving, and opened her arms up to so many friends, and she has no idea who would be capable of doing this.
This one, someone just asked who was discovered. Lisbeth, you were asking who was. This person here, I think this is Melissa. This was the second person.
The Los Angeles Police Department is asking for the public's help for leads that might catch the person responsible for murdering LA model and real estate agent Melissa Mooney. Mooney's family became anxious when they couldn't get a hold of her last week. They apparently could tell the iPhone messages they sent her weren't going through.
When a week went by, we just knew something was off. Like her messages wasn't delivering and stuff. So we knew something was up because we all have a special relationship with Melissa.
The severity of the circumstance, it's so unexpected. It's been a wave of emotions. We don't really know how to feel.
LAPD officers were dispatched to the Sky at Bunker Hill luxury apartments for a welfare check Tuesday afternoon. Inside, they discovered Mooney's body. Her sister Jordan says life isn't the same without her.
Melissa's always been someone like a peacemaker in our family, someone that's always been like the backbone and making sure everyone's getting together, loving on each other. So this is a really big piece of us that is gone now.
Melissa's family wants justice and for the person or people responsible to be held accountable.
I don't know who would want to do this to her, which is crazy. We genuinely don't know who or what will possess someone to do what they did to her.
Police haven't released any details about possible injuries, and Melissa's exact cause of death is under investigation by the LA County Coroner's Office. If you know anything about a possible suspect or suspects responsible for her death, you're urged to call LAPD detectives. We have those direct lines on our website. Just look out for this story. We're live downtown. I'm Rachel.
Okay, so interesting. So they had gone almost a week without any information about her. So, and yes, you're correct, Scooby. There was the last anyone heard from Nikki, the first person, was her saying, "Oh, I'm going out on a date tonight," and that was the last anyone heard from her. So, and this one, so it was 1 week. What continues to get me, Sleuth, is this whole thing that they're not sharing information about cause of death or even anything getting into that, which is why I just
The
think
only
there
thing
might be this.
Well, the only other thing that I can think of is if it's not blatantly obvious what caused it, they might be waiting on toxicology, they might be waiting on, different things like that.
Right,
I'm
right.
trying to think back to how long after, like, the Full House guy couldn't, uh oh my goodness, Danny Taylor, what's his name in real life?
Oh,
In IRL? Because
yeah,
his was in this same type of, like, scenario where he hadn't
right.
been heard from, they sent people, they found him dead in bed, You know what I mean? But it took weeks for gosh, I'm trying to think how long exactly it was before they were finally able to rule what they thought happened to
Right,
him. You
right,
know what I mean?
right. Well, and what gets me though, if they're thinking something toxicology wise, okay, and this is just me looking at this. This is the case that they
Bob
have
Saget,
already
sorry.
said, Bob Saget, that's it.
Bob Saget,
I
I
was gonna
could
start
not.
typing and I was like, wait. So, but yeah, if it's toxicology, how are they so sure about saying it's homicide?
Right. True,
I would see
true.
that maybe more on the Nikki side.
Well, yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, and oh, okay. Thank you, Scooby up here. So according to Nikki's social media, okay, wait, there was something else. Sorry, I was okay. It said she dabbled in modeling, but became a real estate agent as her main source of income. Okay, that's interesting. Um,
I don't know. Okay.
there's just something here. Nikki's social media on Instagram has very low numbers, only about 2,500, and it's on private. So I'm wondering if there were more that they've cut. I don't know. Something is off here. Melissa dabbled in modeling, not Nikki. Okay, got it. Got it. Yeah, because at 23, they've definitely, 23, 32, they're
32.
definitely, yeah, definitely do that. Hello,
That's why I'm, like,
butterfly.
getting everything flip-flopped in my head already, which is
I
sad.
know. It is. It is. So. And but it's definitely one of those things that I think we need. It amazes me that we don't have more people out there
Searching into
digging
this.
like we're
They
doing.
will,
Yes,
though. I'm gonna tell
they
you with
will.
News Daddy on it, it's gonna start to pick up. You're gonna start to see people really digging in and really finding this, and honestly, it looks like Seal is going to be along for the ride with us to try to
Exactly.
search this out and help
Yeah,
us find, things that we need to. I'm gonna keep looking. I
me
just
too.
I'm surprised that her social media would be on private. I mean,
Yes.
even as a real estate agent, you would want your stuff to be more open than that. Do you
Okay,
know what I
wait.
mean?
Nikki
Wait.
is not the real estate
Okay,
agent.
wait.
It
Okay,
would have
see?
been the
Look,
other.
everything's already getting goofy.
No, I get you. Trust me. Did you notice I had to look at my notes first before I said that? And because I wanted to make sure I had that correct.
I think what's
But
happening is because I was reading Scooby-Doo's and then I read Seals at the
that's
same
what I did
time.
too.
Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So, but it is what I can't understand is they are saying that they had a big following on social media.
I mean,
So
2,500 is big to a lot of
yeah,
people. You know what
yeah,
I
it
mean?
is. Yeah. And private, unless the family decided to kind of rein it in a little bit
Well, see,
with
I'm
everything going
wondering if
on.
that's like a secondary account and that's why it's on private.
That's that
Like,
makes
is there
sense
another one that
that we
maybe
haven't
got
tracked.
taken down? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Or
yeah.
because while they're looking at those social media accounts, you won't be able to find them. Like, they do get pulled while the police are looking at
I'm
them.
looking at them.
And
Yeah,
so you might be able to see, like, a private account, but maybe not necessarily her public
right,
account.
right. But yeah, no, I think this one there's just, and maybe it's because there was the whole Timothy Haslett bit. I don't know. I just there's so much of this, both of them. And if there is the possibility of someone else out there who could be hurt by someone, okay, that it's just holding and keeping each other safe.
It's too many coincidences
Mhm.
to be this close together.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Steel, that's true. Scooby thought that too. She may have had a different name that she used for modeling also. That's a possibility. So,
Mhm.
because I would like to know who were the agencies for both these people. Were they under
Right.
the same agency? Did
Yeah.
they work together on certain things? They do have the same look, definitely. Yeah, the fact Scooby's right. Nikki told her family she was going on a date. Who was that date? Have they talked to that person? Okay, police. I'm. I trust the. I do trust the police guys, and there might be a reason why they're keeping quiet about all this stuff. Doesn't stop social media and the internet world from looking into things, but we do know I do think they're looking into it, but I just wish they get family a little bit more comfort right now.
Right.
Because you can see the difference in how the two families are handling it. And one of the reasons I think behind that is one family knows that there's going to be a justice point involved in this, and the other family is feeling like, wait, there's some more to this story, and we need to make sure
Exactly.
our
There's no
loved one gets
answers.
justice. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Hey, Cooter, there
I was gonna
is
say it's
the
time to go.
it's good. It is. I was
It
actually just looking at the
it
time,
just
and I'm like,
came
we're
in.
coming up on 1 hour. We're coming up on 1 hour. Here we go. So,
There went the
oh,
neighborhood. I gotta go to
yep,
bed.
we're all done. We're all done for the day. And I love it. I love it. What if both
Hooter
girls
G
went
from
on a
up
date
north.
with a person? Bingo. And I was looking at their calendars, seeing what was going on. Scooby is saying, let's see, suggests she may have been hiding, keeping something. Yeah. The fact, oh, okay. The fact Nikki told her family she was going on a date, or told her friends, and possible. And there's so much to this. Um, I don't know. I am definitely gonna be keeping an eye on this one. I think this is one that's gonna get its own little folder for us over in Discord, and we can start discussing things there.
I think it's a good
You're
idea because honestly, I know that
oh,
I'm gonna be bored and digging rumors of an arrest.
see, and that's it. I really got to get in. So, were you hearing the rumors and of an arrest? Oh my God, that sounds so weird. What's cracking? Who? For some reason, I'm thinking of okay, Dukes of Hazard. Okay, as soon as I hear words like that, what's cracking? Who used to watch Dukes of Hazard? Was it just me? I used to love that show. Oh my God, I used to love that show. Oh God,
It was
no, that
before
was
my
fun.
time.
I'm feeling old. I'm feeling old. So, but yeah, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see what comes of
I'm not
this. You have any other
I'm not
thoughts
seeing any
or
new articles. No, I'm just looking to see
no?
real quick.
No, and that's it. As I was going through looking for articles and all, it's like everything was about today. There's been some new ones, but nothing new information. Put it that way.
Mhm.
It's the same repeated information. People trying to figure out new ways that they can kind of package it.
Mhm.
But the articles themselves, I am going to show you guys this real quickly if anyone is interested. This is connected to the family. I did find that out. If anyone is feeling like helping Nikki's family, um, there you go. They are working on trying to raise funds for her funeral arrangements. So I'll share that over in chat if anyone's interested, um, or has the ability to. And also share that one that way. Let me get this way.
I can't get over how pretty they both are.
Yeah, gorgeous. I mean, truly, truly gorgeous. Sorry. Quick. Yeah, they're both absolutely gorgeous. Don't look their age whatsoever. And so, okay, what do we have on social media from friends saying they will get justice for her? There was an arrest. Interesting. I'll have to take a look around for that because that's the other thing. I haven't seen any groups pulled together yet on this either. That's usually one of my first things is I go check out, is there a group out there where people are discussing things, and nothing at all. So, but anyhow, that GoFundMe was put together to help Nikki's mother in burial costs and things like that. So if anyone's interested in that. But yeah, can't yeah. We'll have to take a look. Oh, hopefully not hope. Hopefully not. Yeah, in the prime of their lives, exactly. Anyone, I'm sorry, I'm 52, but to me, that was like the prime of I mean, my 30s were where I was
You're
discovering
not
everything.
52. Not a
I am.
chance.
I am. I am. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna start going backwards though at this point. That's my thought. So start subtracting years at this point.
That's
So
how it works, isn't it?
oh yes, oh yes. It's either that or oh, maybe I'll color my hair really wild colors and then I can take like a minute. So, see how that works. So, oh,
Look
you
'em
are
out with the
welcome.
pink hair.
Oh, yes. Oh, my friends get that, that's got purple and pink and blue. I forget what they
I
call
like
that
the,
one.
oh gosh, ombre? Like the different
Ombre would be the color.
green.
There's a style. I don't know if it's like unicorn or what
Oh gosh.
but there's a
It
certain way they do it, and it's so pretty. So I what got me, guys, honestly, not related to this, was when my niece started dyeing her hair gray. They all went through that phase where everyone wanted gray hair, and I'm like,
well,
why?
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, way you
Galaxy.
say.
I'm seeing
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
That's it. Galaxy, Galaxy. I have a
Mm,
really good friend of
it's
mine who's
really
still
pretty. Oh my
isn't
gosh.
it? Isn't it
Yeah.
though? It's so gorgeous. Yeah, it's okay. True crime discussion over on Reddit. We're all going to be heading over that direction right as soon as we're done with this live today. And
Oh.
we'll be figuring that. Oh,
Of
50. Oh my
course.
God.
Of course, the clue to anything going on was found by a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. We're going to have Scooby snacks, okay? Except my dogs will steal the Scooby snacks, but we'll give Scooby snacks out. Better hide it before my dogs see it again. They're all sleeping finally. So, oh, they're gonna drive me crazy.
All right, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, you
Let's
gotta
do
go to
this.
bed. I gotta go. We hit 1 hour. We did it. We made our
That's
hour.
awesome.
So, and hey, no, seriously though, yeah. For those of you, if you're a member over on Sleuth, I'm sure she's going to be discussing it over on their Discord. And if you want to come
Yes.
join us over, actually, let me share that out real quick. If anyone wants to just come on over and join the other Discord known as my Discord, please come on over and we can continue this discussion over there. And also, hope you guys have a great thing. Anything else you want to add to this, Sleuth?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Thank you
Other
so
than
much for bringing
sleepy?
this attention to my attention
No
and to
problem.
everybody else's attention because I was not aware of this one. So
Starting to, it was creeping up a little bit more. By tomorrow, I have a feeling we'll caught on to it. So, okay, guys, we're on our way out. Good night, everyone. As Cooter is saying, good night, everyone.
bye y'all.
Oh, bye, y'all. Hope you have a great night. Bye bye.